Think about how often you use text every single day. You type your name while signing up for apps, send messages on WhatsApp, search on Google, write emails, and create passwords. But have you ever wondered how a computer stores and processes all these words? Numbers alone aren't enough. Computers need a way to work with characters and text efficiently. That's exactly where strings come in. In this episode, we will learn and explore everything from creating strings to performing powerful string operations used in real world software. So let's get started. So, episode number 12, Understanding and Manipulating Text in C++, or you can say strings in C++. Can modern application exist without strings? Imagine opening your favorite application. Every message you send, every username you enter, every password you type, every search you perform, every email you read, and every AI prompt you write is nothing more than text. So computers need a way to store, process, compare, and manipulate this text efficiently. So without strings, modern software simply wouldn't exist. So strings are one of the most frequently used data types in real world programming. Coming next, storing text without strings. Suppose you want to store the word hello. Without strings, you need separate variables for each character. Now imagine storing your full name, a complete address, a paragraph, a WhatsApp conversation, thousands of customer names, creating individual variables for every character is impossible to manage. So, the problems are too many variables, difficult to organize, hard to update, extremely inefficient, and poor code readability. So, the big question, there must be a smarter way to store complete word and sentences, and that's where strings come into picture. So, understanding strings. A string is a collection, you can say array, of characters stored in consecutive memory locations. Example hello, programming, ShivCore, OpenAI, computer. All these are strings. So important concept. A string stores multiple characters together and every character occupies one memory location and characters remain in sequence. So strings allow us to work with complete words and sentences instead of individual letters. So thinking of a string as a train where every character is a coach connected together. So why are strings used? Simply, if a user information is there like name, address, email, phone number, and authentication is required, username, password, OTP verification, or you can say communication is done through WhatsApp messages, emails, or social media posts, or you can say search with AI like Google search, ChatGPT prompt, voice commands, or Gemini, you can say. And if you are doing programming like file names, URLs, error messages, and database records. If your application displays, receives, or processes text, it is using strings. So final takeaway for all of you. Learning string is the first step towards building real world software applications. Coming next, character array, the foundation of strings. Before understanding strings, we must first understand character arrays. A character array is simply an array where every element stores one character. Instead of storing only one character, if there is A, we can store multiple characters together. So, important points. Every box stores exactly one character. Character remains in order. Indexing starts from 0 and total size determine maximum characters that can be stored. So here total 5 in image you can see is 5 characters. Indexing starts from 0. Every box has only one character and total size which is determining it is maximum characters that can be stored. So here the total size is 5. So the maximum characters stored can be 5 only. And all of these characters remain in order. So a string in C++ is actually built using a character array. Coming next, declaring and initializing a character array. So there are multiple ways to create a character array. A method 1 like char name 20. What this means is that it creates a memory for 20 characters. You decide the size in advance. What we can see here, method 2 character name and here ShivCore. So the compiler automatically calculates the required memory. So more control over memory allocation, and the size includes every character plus one extra memory location reserved for null character. Like here in the ShivCore word S H I, here can be V CORE. So a extra null value was there to use. So even though we write one word, the computer stores every character separately. So the most important character, which is null character, remember this thing, it's very important used in programming, which is slash and afterwards O. So every string in C++ ends with a special invisible character which is called the null character, which is representation of it is this, and it tells the computer where the string ends. So if end of the string is this, then here is an invisible null character here. So without it the computer won't continue reading random memory locations. So humans know where a word ends, computers don't. The null character acts like a full stop at the end of a sentence. So without this null character, C++ cannot correctly identify the end of a string. Coming next, how strings are stored inside memory. You see, computers store strings inside consecutive memory locations. Like every memory location has its own unique address. If H is at 100, E is 101, then L doesn't require to be at 102 only, it is on 103. Everyone has its own unique address. Similarly, this also. So every memory location has its own unique address. Characters are stored one after another. This continuous storage makes traversal very efficient. Important observations. Characters occupy consecutive memory. Every location has an address and last location stores nulls. So strings are simply arrays stored continuously inside RAM. So understanding string indexing. Just like arrays, strings also use indexing. You have mastered say arrays and indexing. If you have watched our arrays episode, it was a full-blown one-shot episode which has explained more than enough you required. So this will be also more than enough for string indexing, that if you do this, you can directly move on to DSA questions. You can solve them easily. So this allows to access any individual character directly. Example, at index 0 we have P, at index 2 we have O, At index 4 we have R, at index 6 we have M. If you can see in this program word, this is at index 0, this is the index 0, this is index 2, this is index 4, and this is index 6. Don't understand, these below are for negative marking here. No, these are not for negative marking. This is all incorrect. Don't understand the word given here below. This is the correct indexing I am saying: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So first character always has index 0. Every next character increases the index by 1. Indexing makes strings fast and easy to process. A mini challenge for you is if the string is programmed, which character is stored at index 3? Giving you 5 seconds. Do tell me the answer. So yes, the answer of this is G. Here this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and G is at third index. Coming next, taking input in strings using cin. So one of the most common ways to take input in C++ is using the cin object, like char name 20 cin name. So how this works is that user enters a word, each char stored one by one, and null placed automatically at end. Example, if I input ShivCore, in the memory it will be like this: ShivCore, each word stores a single memory, and after that the last will be the null stored there that indicates the end of the string. Important point to note is it's easy to use, faster for single word input, automatically stops at spaces. Real life usage of strings are usernames, country name, city name, roll number. So cin is suitable only when the input contains a single word. Coming next, the problem with cin. Suppose the user enters Shivansh Verma, like if I enter this name, and expected output should be Shivansh Verma only, but the actual output that comes is Shivansh. Why so? Because there is a blank in between Shivansh and Verma. So why? The answer is cin stops reading as soon as it encounters a space. So everything after the first space is ignored. Some real life problems this causes are like full name, home address, email subject, chat messages, book titles. So whenever spaces are important, cin is not the correct choice. You should note this. So using getLine for full line input. To read an entire line of text, C++ provides the getLine function, like char name of 50, cin getLine, and then we have name here, and with the name we have 50 also. So like you can see, advantages are like read complete names. You understand? Reading complete names. Perfect for addresses. Perfect for addresses. And useful for paragraphs. Ideal for user generated text. And automatically appends null. So simply getLine works is like reads every character entered, it includes spaces and stops only at enter 1. So getLine captures the complete input exactly as typed by the user. So I have explained you cin and getLine, and I will show you both, and then you will get to know what's the difference practically between both of these. So firstly, we will go for scene question, which where we will take scene to take the name. Firstly, we will say char name. We will say user. Enter the name. Then scene. Name will be taken in input. Up next, after this, we will simply say cout hello name. So I believe our code is correct, complete. So let me show you when I run the code. 1 second. Yes, and when I run the code, enter the name, I say Shivansh. Inside name, let me take a limit of it to be 20. Yes, and now when I run and I say name Shivansh, it says hello Shivansh. But when I run again and this time I say Shivansh and then space and then Verma, but it simply says hello Shivansh. It doesn't take the Verma given in input, because whenever the space comes, it just counts it like end of that input. And now let me show you how the get line helps us, and let us clear this problem with get line. So here our boilerplate work is done. Let me say char name 50. 1 second. We will say cout enter your name. So afterwards is the main thing. We have said enter the name, and then we will say cin dot get line. In the parenthesis we will say name with the 50 as the size of the name. So here cin get line name with 50 here. So till here you understand. After that we will say simply cout here name, and that's it. Our work is done. And now when I run the code, I will say my name Shivansh Verma, and this time see how it says welcome Shivansh Verma. It doesn't take care of spaces, it completely takes all of the input given. So that was the main matter here to be noted in string. Coming back to our presentation, Next, as I explained to you, scene versus getline. Choosing the right input method is important. So scene used when we read one word only or we stop at spaces, faster for simple input and best for usernames, IDs, short words. So use when no spaces are expected. And whereas getline is used when reads the complete line, includes spaces, stops when enter is pressed, best for names, addresses and messages. So use when spaces are allowed. So inside scene we will username can be taken, password can be taken, scene can be taken. But in getline we if we want to use full name, addresses or special characters. So quick examples for username will be seen, for password will be seen, for full name address will be getline, also for feedback form will be getline. So professional program often use both methods depending on the type of input required. Coming next, accessing individual characters or we can say string indexing. Since a string is an array of characters, every character has an index. So if we say example, if this is program is a code, at index 0 we have P, at index 3 0 1, O is here at index 2, G at 3. O is missing here. So G will be at third index only. Just O is here with index 2. So PROG, this is R not G. A little problem. Yes. So G is at index 3. M is at index 6, as you can see. So why indexing matters? It reads and modifies characters, search and count letters, reverses and compares strings, or build algorithms. Key takeaways are mastering indexing is the foundation for every string manipulation algorithm in C++. Mini challenge for all of you is that if the string is computer, which character is stored at index 5? So giving you 20 seconds for this. Simply you also know T is here at index 5, answer is T. Coming next, traversing a string, visiting every character one by one from beginning to end. Traversing is a very important topic. Like if we say example string program, program. So here, so what is traversal for this? Traversing means visiting every character of a string one by one from beginning to end. So just as we traverse arrays using loops, strings are also traversed using loops because they are stored as character arrays. So why do we need transfer strings? Because if we want to display every character, we want to count characters, search for a letter, reverse a string, count vowel and consonant, modify character, compare strings, build real-world applications, and many more. Simply, traverse string is very important topic and is used to manipulate and change and do work in strings to make coding better. So almost every string algorithm begins by traversing the string. So let me show you. Firstly listen, using loops to traverse a string. A loop allows us to access every character automatically. So why use loops? Because instead of writing code for each character individually, we let the loop move through each index one after another. Key observations are every iteration processes one character. The loop moves from left to right. This technique works for strings of any length. So, real life analogies: reading a book one letter at a time from the first page to the last. Loops make string processing efficient and scalable. Let me show you a traversing of string code in VS Code. Hashtag include IOStream using namespace standard in main, return 0, and here for traversing of string, let me say char name is equal to Shivansh here. Or let me say ShivCore here. And in the next line we will take a for loop. We will say for int I equal to 0. This is the main. I less than is not used here. We say name of I is not equal to 0. Actually it's null, so this slash 0. So until the name of I is not equal to 0, it's not equal to null, we say that that is the limit till what we will go. So after this we will say I plus plus, and next we will continue to a loop. I don't know this, 1 second. Yeah, I will take here square brackets also. Coming to next, we will say simply cout name of I and end of line. Or let me take spaces. So running the code, 1 second, let me include this in double quotes. Yeah, now sorted. Let me clear it once, then you will be able to understand nicely. So simply this is how the word comes. Each word is printed until it's the null. So that's how we run through complete code input given by user. Also we can take. This is how string traversing is done. Coming back to presentation, finding the length of a string. The length is the total number of characters before the null character. Algorithm: if step 1 is start a counter at 0, step 2 is visit every character one by one, step 3 is increase the counter for every character, and step 4 is stop when the null character is reached. Example: when hello is there, at h count is 1, he count is 2, l is count 4, and then at o count is 5. So it stops and the final length of it is given as 5 as input. So the null character is not counted as part of the string length. So pause the video, try to do this question yourself while we are doing it in our VS Code also. All of the boilerplate work is done. Next, we have to find the string length. Let me say char string of 100 characters will be the max limit of it. Won't need more than that. We will say user to enter a string, and below we will say cin dot get line. In the parentheses we will say str and the number of the limit it can have. It's correct. Here will be this. Coming next, we will say int length equal to 0, and below we will take a for loop where we will say int I equal to 0, and here the matter main. But if the question we have to find and we are not known to the iterations, so I can't use for loop here, so I have to use string with while loop here, and inside this while loop I will say string of length is not equal to null. Till then this code will work. As simple as that, you understand. The length of the string until it is not null, the code will continue and continue to work. And inside it, simply we will say length plus plus. We will simply get the user the output as length, and after that length. So as we have done a code to find the length of a string. So when I run this code, it says enter the string. I will say ShivCore here. Simply says length is 8, as you can also count here, it's 8 only. And similarly it can work for any word, any word. Commenting all of it. And now coming back to our presentation, understanding the manual length algorithm. So how the algorithm works internally step by step. So if memory representation we have here hello, HELLO. Here 1 second we will take null here. In the counter progress, at the start the count is 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and stops. So important observation of it was that every visible character increases the counter. The null character T tells the loop to stop, and this method works for string of any size. So why to learn this? Because built-in functions like strlen use a similar idea internally, so understanding the algorithm makes debugging much easier. So it was important to explain this to you because later on the str length the words make it so easy that we don't even need to code much for that. So that's why you should also be able to know that what is important and how. Coming next, what is string manipulation? String manipulation perform operations that modify, analyze, or process a string. Common string operation that it takes is like copying a string, comparing two strings, reversing a string, concatenating two strings, converting uppercase to lowercase, lowercase to uppercase, toggling character case, replacing characters, removing spaces, finding specific characters. So why is it important? So almost every software application performs these operations while processing user input. Some real world examples are like password validation, search engines, chat applications, text editors, email processing, AI chatbots, file management systems. So a string can do all of these work like copy, compare, consecumate, replace, concatenate, reverse, compare, copy. So learning string manipulation is one of the most practical string in programming. Mark my words, it's very important. So copying a string by manual method. Copying a string in a manual method. So creating an exact duplicate of an existing string or one character at a time. Example, if original string is ShivCore, the copied string is also ShivCore, but any changes done in copied string won't affect the original string. So manual processes read one character, store it in the new string, move to the new character, and repeat until null character is reached. Some important points are copy each character individually, include the null characters, both strings are independent after copying. So some real life applications are like creating backup data, duplicate usernames, saving temporary text, and text processing. So always copy the null character as the final step. Coming next, we have comparing two strings. So checking whether two strings are exactly the same character by character is done here. So if comparison rule, compare the first characters. If they match, compare next pair. Continue until a mismatch is found or both strings end. So even one different character makes two strings different. Likely, if given apple versus apple, it's equal, all words are same. But here in apple versus apply, the last word E is changed to Y, means there is a difference. So it is not the same, so it is different. Same is shown here that apple dot X or Y, so they don't agree to it. Comparison is done character by character, not as a one complete word. So reversing a string. So arranging the character in the opposite order. Example, if the original is program, the reversed become this. Simply reverse of it. So how it works is, like start from the last character, move backward one at a time, and store or print in reverse order. So some key observations are, first char becomes last and last char becomes first. So middle stays if odd length. So simply applications used in this are text processing, data formatting, cryptography, algorithm practice, and competitive programming. So reversal is the one of the most common beginner string algorithms. So I will show you this algorithm in VS Code by solving it. So in reverse a string question, firstly let me write all of the boilerplate work. So after this, I will simply say char string 100 means the length of this string is 100. You will say user to enter a string and take it in cin dot get line str with 100 length, like this. After this we will say int length equal to 0. After int length is equal to 0, will use a while loop. Similarly, we done before also while loop where strlength is is not equal to null. We will say length so our while loop work is done, and below this we will add an extra thing, for loop for int I equal to 0, and the next thing will be I less than length divided by 2, which means the half of the string. Length by 2 means the half of the string. Simply we will take and reverse it. We will make a new variable char temp which will be str of I, and in the next line we will say str of I is equal to length minus 1 plus I. Actually minus I. And this becomes temp. So here what it is, it reverses, this for loop reverses it, and we will simply say cout and that's it. We are done with our code. So next, when I run this code, if I say ShivCore, it gives the reverse of it. Yes, so it's totally correct. I hope you understood the code. Now I am coming next toward our presentation. So next we have checking for a palindrome string, which means a palindrome reads the same from both directions. So palindrome is same, like example are these, madam, where the first two words are equal to the first two letters are equal to last two letters. So it is the same if you either you write and read from the start, or you read from the end. Samely for level, same for radar, same for Malayalam. So manual logic for this is step 1 to compare first and last character. Step 2 is to compare second and second last. Step 3 is to continue toward the center, and if all pairs match, we say it's a palindrome. So some real life applications of these are interview questions, algorithm design, pattern recognition, data validation. So mini challenge for you is that is the word refer a palindrome? Giving you 5 seconds for this. Yes, so this is a palindrome because it is same from the start and end. So palindrome checking uses two pointers moving toward the center of the string. So let me show you this code in VS Code also. So here I will write. So here all of the work of basic boilerplate work is done. Simply I will say char str100. We will say user to enter a string, and then I will say scene dot get line str with 100 of its size. Next int length is equal to 0. The same leave while str of length is not equal to null length plus plus. So now the main work here below this works. We will say bool palindrome it is equal to true. You know bool values will be always in true or false. So that's why we have taken as true for int I equal to 0, I less than length by 2, I plus plus, and inside this for loop I will take another if string where I will say str of I is not equal to str of length minus I. Minus 1 also we took. Yes. So if this condition works, we will say palindrome becomes false and we will break, which means we will exit the code directly. Simply now we will say if palindrome cout it is a palindrome in else I will say cout, and here I will say it is not a palindrome. So that's it. We are done with our code. So now when I run the code and I say madam, so it says yes it is a palindrome, and if I run the code again and say any random word like say y, it is not a palindrome. So we are right about our code, just doing this for better code, and now commenting all of the code. I hope you understood this. It was very important. So palindrome check is done. Coming back to our presentation, it's a good question. So concatenating two strings, it is like joining strings. So concatenation means joining two or more strings together to form one larger string. Example of it are like first hello, second is world, then the result becomes hello world. Or firstly I say Shivansh, last is Verma, so result becomes Shivansh Verma. So manual process for this is find where the first string ends, start copying from the second string and continue until null character is copied. So important points is characters copied one by one, preserve the correct order, and destination array must have enough memory. So some real life applications are full name generation, building URLs, creating file paths and formatted messages, chat apps and email addresses. So concatenation combines multiple strings into one meaningful piece of text. Coming next we have changing character case. So sometimes applications need to change the case of letters for consistency or formatting. Like some common operations we have convert uppercase to lowercase, convert lowercase to uppercase, or toggle character case. Some example for you is hello becomes this hello, or this programming becomes this programming, or ShivCore becomes this. So simply it is just toggle character case or uppercase to lowercase or lowercase to uppercase. So why is it useful? Because username standardization it helps in search systems, it helps in password rules, it helps in text formatting and helps in data cleaning. Some important observation for you is that only alphabetic characters are modified, so numbers and special symbols remain unchanged. So changing character case is one of the most common string manipulation tasks. So replacing characters in a string. Like replacing means changing one character into another throughout the string. Example for you is original is banana and we replace A with O, so it becomes bonono. Simply visit step 1 for this is visit each character. Step 2 is check if it matches the target, and if the target is matched, simply replace it. So continue until end of the string. Some real life applications are word filters, text editors, data correction, chat moderation, auto formatting. So important point for you is every character must be checked. Only matching characters are replaced and remaining characters stay unchanged. So replacing is performed character by character using traversal. So this is also a very good question. So here in the question it is replacing characters in string. So this is an homework for all of you. Do try to do comment, and if you can comment the solution of it, I will check it and tell it's correct or not. So moving spaces from a string. So many applications remove unnecessary spaces before processing text. Example, if the original is hello world C++, after removing spaces it just removes the spaces. So the manual logic for this is traverse the string, ignore every space character, copy remaining characters to new position and end with null character. So some real life applications are like search engines, username creation, data cleaning, file name processing and input validation. So simply hello world, the benefits for this is cleaning data, faster searching and better storage and easier processing. So removing spaces is a common pre-processing step in many software applications. So it's a very important thing to remove spaces from a string. So Coming next, we have real-world string manipulation applications. So everything learned so far is used in real software development like user registration that validates name, format usernames, search engines that compare queries and ignore case, and messaging apps that edit messages and replace words. Some more applications for you are AI applications like process prompts, analyze the text, or text editor that copies, paste, find and replace, or cybersecurity where password checking and input validation is done. So concept use are traversal, copying, comparing, reversing, concatenation, case conversion, character replacement, and moving spaces. So final takeaway for you is string manipulation is one of the most important programming skill because almost every modern application processes text. So the C++ string library. Here the C string where C++ provides built-in functions to simply common string operations. It's very good. It's very much used. It is used to simplify the code by using this simply just use C string to use for string strlen, strcpy, strcat. So they help a lot. So manual operation are like finding length, copying string, compared string, joining string. All of these are done very easily by just using these built-in libraries. So what is C string? It is a built-in library with pre-built functions for common string operations like strlength, strcopy, strcat, strcpy, cmp. So benefits are saved development time, reduces repetitive code, improves readability and widely used in professionally. So important note, although these functions make programming easier, understanding the manual logic behind them helps you debug problems and write better codes. So professional programmers understand the algorithm first and then use these library functions. So finding string length using strlength. So strlength returns the number of characters before the null character. Let's say this is syntax strlength and then the string name. So if I say the string programming, it gives the output as 11 for the length of it. So how this works is that start from the first character, count every visible character and stop at null character and return the total count. So the important points are null character are not counted, string must end with null, must end with this /0 which is the last value of the string. So applications are input validation, password checking. Some manual method is write the loop, maintain the counter, check for the last and return count. So strlen method just simplifies it. One simple function call and returns the length instantly. That's it. So easy. Same result but less code. Some real world applications are input validation, password length checking, text analysis, and user registration systems. So strlen simply automates the manual length algorithm you already learned. So coming next, we have copying string using strcpy, which is strcpy copies one string into another. Syntax for this is strcpy destination and source. Like say the source is this ShivCore and the destination is also ShivCore. So it just copies the word ShivCore from this destination from this source and take it to this destination. So the working process is reads every character from source, copies character one by one, also copies the null character and stops after complete copy. So the important points are destination must have enough memory, original string should be unchanged, and destination should be equal to exact copy. So the manual copy here is character by character, loop required, and manual null termination. But when we use strcpy method, it's a single function call, handles everything automatically, and same result, again less code. Application used are backup data, temporary storage, user information, and file processing. So strcpy performs exactly the same work as the manual copy algorithm. Next, comparing string using strcmp. strcmp compares two strings lexicographically. So it is dictionary order also. So possible result, if 0 is there, then both strings are equal. Negative, then first comes before second, and positive, then first comes after second. So working process of it is compare character left to right, stop at the first mismatch, or return the comparison result. So important thing is that strcmp is case sensitive also. Sometimes you understand it will say true for this, but here h is capital and here h is small, so it won't be equal. It will say compares and it says they are not equal. So applications of it is login systems, password verification, search algorithms, sorting text, and file name comparisons. So the manual comparison here takes character by character, again loop required, and track mismatch manually, whereas strcmp method uses one function call and return result instantly. So again same logic but less code. So example of it is strcmp apple and banana. Negative means A comes before B. So strcmp hello and hello becomes 0 means they are equal, because here in apple and banana A comes before B, it's negative answer of it, and here they are equal, then 0 is answer of it. So strcmp compares string character by character internally. So the last one is str string joining str strings using strcat. So strcat joins one string to the end of another string. Syntax of it is strcat destination and source. Example like hello world will make hello world. So how this generally works is find the end of destination string, start copying the source string, add the null character at end. So destination must have enough space and source remains unchanged. And applications for this are creating full names, building URLs, creating file paths, dynamic messages, chat applications. So the manual concatenation method is find end of first string, copy characters one by one, and add null at the end. So the strcat method simply single function call, handle everything automatically, same result, less code. So strcat automates the concatenation process you already learned manually also, I explained you. So some common mistakes beginner make with strings. So while learning string, beginner often make small mistakes that lead to unexpected program behavior, like forgetting the null character, declaring arrays that are too small, accessing indexes beyond string length, or mixing scene and get line incorrectly, or you can say forgetting space for null character, comparing string incorrectly, or copying into arrays without enough memory. Some example situations are like array size too small, so string gets truncated or memory overwritten, or accessing invalid index like undefined behavior, or using scene before getLine, so getLine reads an empty line. So tips to avoid these mistakes are always choose a sufficiently large array indexes, or understand where the string ends, or check the string length before accessing, or practice with different inputs. So most string errors occur because of incorrect memory handling. Some real world applications of string you all know, like communication apps, search engines, AI, authentication, databases, programming, and game development. All of these below are their examples. If you want to get this whole presentation, you can get it from pinned comment and also from description. So conclusion is that if an application stores or processes text, strings are involved. So strings are everywhere in modern software, we all know. So quick revision for all of you, everything we learned today is what is string, character arrays, null character, memory representation, string indexing, taking input, scene versus get lines, string traversal, manual length calculation, copying string, comparing string, reversing string, palindrome checking, concatenation, character case conversion, replacing characters, removing spaces, C++, C string library, strlen, strcmp, strcpy, strcat. So learning outcome for you is you can now confidently create, read, traverse, manipulate and process strings in C++. So key skills gained here are manual algorithms, library functions, real world applications and problem solving with text. So congratulations, with that you have mastered one of the most important topics in beginner C++ programming. So these are some practice questions and homework for all of you. Strengthen your understanding by solving these problems. These are some beginner levels that find length without stl length, count vowels and consonant, reverse a string, check if palindrome. This is intermediate level like copy string manually, compare without strcmp, remove all spaces, remove every occurrence of a given character. These are some challenging problems. Toggle the case of every alphabet character and count frequency of every character in a string. A mini project for you is build a simple student information system that features all of these things: student, store student name, display student detail, convert name to uppercase, store city, count name length, reverse the city name, and store email. So the more string problems you solve, the stronger your programming logic becomes. And with that, episode summary is done. And next key takeaway for you are string are simply character arrays that allow us to store and manipulate text efficiently. By understanding the underlying memory structure and manual algorithms, you are now prepared to solve real programming problems involving text. Next episode for you is pointers in C++, which uses memory addresses, address operators, dereference operators, pointer variables, pointer arithmetic, real memory visualization. At the last here, I would like to say that congratulations, you have solved very important and difficult topic of C++, which is string, besides string manipulation also, and it's a very good thing to do. Now you are able to do more advanced DSA, a little more advanced, where you are able to solve strings. If you do at least 5 of the questions of the given challenges I gave you, I guarantee you that you will be able to solve DSA questions at very nice level and you will excel. So with that I would like to say master the core, build the future, and thanks for watching. ShivCore signing off.